What is going on, everyone? Had to hop on here because way too many people were talking about the take the wheel thriller that was, I guess, the testimony during the hearings or the show that is currently going on. So, in case you haven't heard, first of all, let me know where you're tuning in from, city and state. Give yourself a shout out, give your city or your town a shout out, give your state a shout out if you don't want to put your town. And if you're tuning in from outside this great nation, of course, let me know where you're tuning in from, city and state or province or wherever in that country, whatever you want to let us know about. Give yourself a shout out. Okay. Now, so we heard some testimony. Now, in case you don't know what this is all about, let me clue you in. We heard some testimony from a young White House female employee, staffer, that, now this is in front of Congress. This is in front of that hearing, you know, the hearing I'm talking about. And here we are with just this random girl who heard third party, second hand, whatever, about an incident that happened inside a Secret Service vehicle that day.
Tony proceeded to tell me that when the president got in the Beast, he was under the impression from Mr. Meadows that the off-the-record movement to the Capitol was still possible and likely to happen, but that Bobby had more information. So once the president had gotten into the vehicle with Bobby, he thought that they were going up to the Capitol, and when Bobby had relayed to him, we're not, we don't have the assets to do it, it's not secure, we're going back to the West Wing. The president had a very angry response to that. Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now." To which Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing." The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel, and when Mr. Renato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
So what happened was he apparently lunged for the steering wheel and grabbed the steering wheel, okay? And in an attempt to grab the steering wheel, another Secret Service agent tried to stop him, and apparently he gave him like the kung fu throat grab, she said, toward the clavicles, and I guess somehow pulled some Bruce Lee slash, I don't know, Kiefer Sutherland, Jamie Foxx style like action star president move, and like pushed that guy and grabbed the wheel and pushed another guy out of the way. Absolute, like, crazy story to think about it. And can you stop with the heavy breathing? So that's the story. But now here's the best part. The best part is that she's saying she heard this from a Secret Service agent. Okay? Now, the best part is they bring this person on, and now this is called hearsay. And then they bring this person on to testify that she heard from someone who was there that this is what happened. That's called hearsay. Now, a while back, some of you know this, some of you don't. I was involved in a legal matter. Small town, local court. Nothing crazy. And I was told when I was telling my attorney that I had information about something, and he said, and this is for like a local civil trial, and I said, and this is local court, small, not Congress, and he said, "Well, you can't say that." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you weren't there." I said, "Well, I talked to the people who were there. They told me firsthand. He was the guy that was involved. So what do you mean I can't testify to that?" He said, "Suresh, that is..." Now, obviously, I had an understanding of hearsay, But this was something I was getting directly from an attorney and my legal team. So he said, no, you can't testify to that. That's called hearsay. The only person that can testify to what you're saying is the person that was there, that was involved in the situation, involved in that event. So I said, oh, okay. All right, so that's it. So be it. Okay, great. Here we are in front of Congress, and they have someone who wasn't there, but is telling a story that she heard from someone that was there. Congress. They wouldn't allow this in municipal court. Municipal court wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't allow it in a small county courthouse. Not allowed. But in front of Congress, hearsay is allowed. And they brought this woman in, and she's telling this story of like heroics that Trump pulled off that she heard. Now, here's the best part. The best part is the Secret Service agents that were actually in the car have said two things. Well, one thing that came out was Trump was not in the Beast that day. He was in a regular armored SUV. And you could Google the photos of that. We all know what it looks like. We've seen it. So the first part of her hearsay, I can't believe we're talking about someone who is giving testimony in front of Congress about a story they heard from someone. The first part of the story, that he was in the Beast, is false. It was confirmed by 1,000 different sources that he was not in the Beast. He was in a regular SUV armored. Okay, so now the next part is even crazier. The Secret Service agents that were there are saying that it didn't happen. That didn't happen. Now, it's too late to bring them in, and they're not going to bring them in. Why they're not going to bring them in, we don't know. We're not sure. But all we do know is that, one, they're not bringing them in to testify, and two, according to reports, the agents that were in the vehicle with President Trump that day are right at this moment saying that did not happen. Now, of course, they want everyone to believe that. Now, mind you, the same people who are claiming that this happened and are pushing that this happened are the same people that when President Trump was like walking up a ramp and kind of tripped a little bit, like he like stumbled like a second, his shoe got, like the rubber of his shoe got caught. They're like, oh, he needs to get medical testing. He's not fit. He's not unhealthy. He's dying. He can't even walk up a ramp. And remember that? Remember the ramp situation? You can Google it. You know, Trump trips, walking, stumbles going up a ramp. They were making him out to be crippled and unfit to be president because he stumbled once going up a little ramp. Now the same people want you to believe that he is like American Ninja Warrior, action star, Bruce Willis, diving, grabbing the steering wheel, another Secret Service agent by the throat. Maybe he did the 2-eye poke, and maybe he did the judo chop. All this stuff to try to take over the vehicle and steer the vehicle off route. One old man that they said was not fit to be president because he couldn't walk up a ramp, now is taking on 2, possibly 3 Secret Service agents and taking over a vehicle from the back of the car. That's what they want you to believe. The same people who said he couldn't walk. It's absolutely mental. And I seriously don't know how anyone with a single brain cell can look at that testimony, which is hearsay, and hey, do you mind? We're live here. Hey, do you mind? We're live. We're live on. Yeah, we're live right here. Can you? Okay. So that's the story that we're told to believe, right? That's the story we're told to believe, right? And yes, what one person just said, couldn't even hold a glass of water. Apparently, he had trouble holding a glass of water. Plots. This guy's killing me. Hey, Plots, live. So couldn't hold a glass of water, could trip, whatever. But now he's taken out multiple Secret Service agents, right? That's what he's doing. That's the guy, the same guy. All hearsay. So I would 100% believe this story if they said, okay, well, there were multiple Secret Service agents in the vehicle that day. They were in the car. Bring this person or persons in. And bring them in. And let them hear from them. Hey, you were the driver. Hey, you were the passenger. Hey, you were in the back seat. All three of you. Or the two guys that maybe were driving and the other guy who got the throat punch or the two fingers in the eyes. Or maybe he did the mouth drag to him. I don't know. But why not bring them in, put them in front of Congress, and, hey, come here. So, this guy's absolutely killing me. It's a training day, sorry. Why don't we bring them in? Why don't we bring them in and say, hey, you guys were there. You guys were there. What happened? Did he jump over the seat? Did he take the wheel like Jesus? What happened? Did it happen? Why are we not bringing the people that... No, we're going to go with some random woman that they pulled out of somewhere, and she's saying she heard from one of them. That's what she's saying. She heard, and it went along the lines of this, and it was kind of like this. It wasn't even... She didn't even come in and say, this is what he said. This is what he said happened. She didn't even come in with that kind of authority. She was saying, he said he heard, and it was something along the lines of this. So not only is it hearsay, but it's kind of like a little cloudy hearsay. But that's it. In front of Congress, it's good to go. That wouldn't fly in your local town courthouse. That wouldn't fly in a podunk, Alabama, little local municipal court. That wouldn't fly. The judge would say, get out of here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, ma'am? You heard from this guy. Bring that guy in that you heard from. Bring him in. Bring him in. I want to hear from his mouth. That's not hearsay. That's direct testimony. Put your hand on the Bible. You were there. Okay, did this happen? Yeah. Okay, great. Did it not happen? Okay. Why are we not doing that? Why is no one asking about that? It's unbelievable. So, I don't know who they expect to believe this, but the people who want to believe it are now like jumping up and screaming like that, like this was their star witness. This was their star. Let me tell you, I'll be the first. If they brought those guys in that were in that car, and those guys put their hand on the Bible and said, yeah, Trump jumped over the seat, grabbed the wheel, grabbed that guy by the throat, punched this guy, and was trying to take the vehicle over against our commands and our better advice. I would be like, hey, the guy's crazy. The guy's freaking crazy. He tried to commandeer a vehicle from the back seat. I don't care if you're president or whatever. The Secret Service is there to protect you. They're telling you, no, we're not going there. And here you are trying to... If those guys came in and gave that testimony, man, it's a wrap. Shame on them. Shame on them. I don't know. Why? And anyone who isn't saying bring those guys in, anyone who's saying, oh, don't bring those guys in, let's just believe her story, you're suspect. You're suspect. Because if it was you on the stand and they just dropped someone out of the sky and said, well, I heard from someone who was there that, yeah, he did this or she did this, you'd be like, well, who is this person? What? Get the person she's saying that she heard this from. Get them in here. I want to hear it from their mouth. Let them perjure themselves or let them tell the truth. But I want to hear it from their mouth. I would demand, I want to hear it from their mouth. Confirm what this woman is saying. And right now, those people are saying they never said that. And that never happened. But that's not going to be heard. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's almost like people are comparing this to like a show. We're watching a movie. Like, you know, we've all watched The West Wing. We've watched, like, you know, different movies where, like, the president's the action star and there's drama and all this stuff, right? We've all seen it. We've all seen the show with Kiefer Sutherland and all that stuff. But, like, this is, like, bananas what's going on right now. And the only thing more crazy than what they're trying to get us to believe are the people that I'm talking to that believe it. That's quite possibly the only thing crazier than what is going on in that room with these people coming out of nowhere. And the only thing crazier are the people who I talk to who are like, yeah, it's, man, Trump's done. Do you hear that testimony of that one? Like, whoo, man, holy moly. I got some left-handed forks to sell you, if you believe that. So anyway. Whew. All right, I got to get the training in with this guy because obviously he's going crazy. Get a Belgian Malinois and you'll see. The Belgian Malinois, great dog, but you see he's crazy. So I apologize for the barking. I apologize for the heavy breathing. We got to go do some training. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you share this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel and all that stuff. Because we're just going to keep coming out. We're ramping things up. We're ramping things up here, and we got some great stuff coming at you. And, of course, as always, we got some new gear dropping at 221btactical.com. If you like gear, clothes, apparel that's actually functional and designed with your safety in mind and your comfort in mind, check it out, 221btactical.com. Be prepared, folks. Be prepared. It's getting a little weird out there. I mean, obviously, it's gotten weird, but I think it's going to get a little weirder. A little weirder. Man, I don't know, maybe aliens are going to drop out of the sky. The reality is this. I believed in aliens until the government started saying that there's aliens. And now I'm like, I don't know if there's aliens. Now that they're saying it. Tell me you haven't thought the same thing. All right. Take care. Brush your hair.